Hellmaster EX. This award-winning system features the first single-engine joystick with digital electric steering and new autopilot capability. See Hellmaster EX in action at a Yamaha Outboard dealer or visit YamahaOutboards.com.
Tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast for the Fisherman's big trip on the Nancy Ann out of Orient Point. We were targeting porgies, striped bass, and sea bass. Also tune in for a skinny water fluke special from Jenni on her open boat segment and reports from all around the island.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
August 24th and 25th on Long Island Sound. WICC Surfside Hotel Greatest Bluefish Tournament on Earth. $25,000 for the heaviest catch, plus additional prizes equaling $40,000. Sign up now at bluefishtournament.com.
Today is July 18th, and we're coming to you live from the floor at ICAST 2024, where I'll be doing my report this week. But tune in, because we're going to be doing 2 product release videos a week until probably next year, next ICAST almost. We'll be covering the latest and the greatest in the industry. Subscribe to our e-news, subscribe to the magazine for all the updates on what's to come out in the upcoming months, or the upcoming year for that matter. Tune in. Also, keep in mind the latest digital issue of the Fisherman magazine. It's out right now. Tune in this week for a surf column on hooks and split rings, why and when you should be using them. Also, we have an inshore column. It's on chilling out, how to keep that catch cool, cold, and ready for the table. Then we have a freshwater bass column. It's called Relaying the Lumber. It's about fishing that heavy lumber, heavy structure for freshwater bass. And also, I wrote up a product review on the G. Loomis GCX rod that was featured in a video earlier this year. The Fisherman's Jenni Ackerman, she has another open boat special. This week it's on one of my favorite kinds of fishing, skinny water fluke. Check it out.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's open boat. Today we're just taking a nice cruise, and I just wanted to take you guys fishing with me. No crazy rundowns, no fish biology, just sit back and relax and let's go fishing. We're gonna go see if we can jig us up some river fluke. Oh. A lot of seaweed. What am I snagged on? I'm snagged. It's a hard snag. Very nice. No net needed. Oh. God dang, that was crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh. On the killie. It felt good. It felt good. So we're just wrapping up fishing for the day here on the Surreals of Frankie Z. Now we were fluking and I had to switch up my traditional rig a little bit. Usually I just fish artificials, but they weren't hitting, they were hitting on killies. Of course you can use live bait or fresh, you got spearing, squid, whatever floats your boat, Cap. But for the killies, I'm using a 3.0 octopus puck. and it's easier just to pop the fish off. You have a dehooker. Frankie's trying to hit me with his rig right here to show you. You got the bucktail, and then you also have the hook, but here he's got a three-way here to make that work. And we crush fish all day on that. So, like I said, that octopus hook is really easy. You don't even have to touch the fluke. You literally wrap around the leader, you get the handy dandy dehooker tool. You can literally make one yourself, or you could get one and you just dehook the fluke really easily with that. So thank you guys for coming along with us, coming fishing with me. Hopefully you had fun, and hopefully soon you can get on your own fishing yourselves, and I'll see you on next week's Open Boat.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
It's a snook.
A while back, the Fisherman magazine team had the pleasure of fishing on the Nancy Ann out of Orient Point with Spro, Gamakatsu, and Sea Falcon, who are all here today actually. We caught a lot of striped bass, big striped bass, some sea bass, and some porgies. Check out how the trip went down.
The race. This is where the Long Island Sound and Block Island Sound collide. This 3-mile wide natural deep channel of turbulent water is the testing ground for Spro, Gamakatsu, and Sea Falcon. Bluefish, porgies, sea bass, and of course big striped bass are all in this theater. We leave Orient Point with Captain Richie Jensen on the Nancy Ann 4.
We'll take it right down to the race. Be about 45, 50 minutes.
On the steam out, we rig up for the first drop. When we arrived at the race, the tidal conditions were just right to do a little bottom fishing using the Sea Falcon jigs.
Wow.
There you go.
Sid Reeves of Spro hooked into this nice sea bass using a Sea Falcon jig with Gamakatsu assist hooks. The Scup can't resist these jigs either, by evidence of Long Island managing editor Matthew Broderick's catch.
Let's start a new trend.
The tide was right to target striped bass using a 3-way swivel and a Spro bucktail trailing.
Yeah, but it's better when it's wide, so we can cut it.
The race is known for their big stripers, and this one was quickly released, being over the slot limit of 31 inches. A little friendly competition took place on the rail between owner-publisher of the Fisherman magazine, Mike Caruso, and Matt Broderick. Then Mike hooked up. Big time. Finally, Mike was able to turn the fish's head and work him to the surface.
Yeah, baby.
All right, got another one to jig right now.
Now it was Matt's turn.
Boy, right down to the bottom, felt that hit right away.
Nice. The Spro bucktails and Sea Falcon jigs were getting the job done. Just look how these jigs match the hatch.
The fish really seem to be keen on bucktails right now, Spro bucktails specifically. And the color is it's like a greenish chartreuse. They call it zucchini. I just got hit right there. They call it zucchini, the color. It's like a green color with a green fat cow trailer strip on the back. That seems to really get it done in these waters.
Mike Caruso was hooked up again.
No, but that's a fish. That's a fish.
All right, we are. This one's on a jig right off the bottom. It's definitely a good fish. Let's get it.
This could be the biggest bass of the day as Mike struggles to gain line on the fish.
Get up, Mike.
Adding to the challenge are the strong currents of the race.
He's foul hooked.
Now we know why there was such a brutal battle.
Decent fish that's foul hooked. Woo! Free spool. Oh my God, foul hooked.
What a great day on the water, thanks to Nancy Ann Charters, Gamakatsu, Spro, and Sea Falcon.
Tim C. Smith, the producer, gives us an update on the Dreamboat and the Coastal Kayak Clash.
And now the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. 3 entries this week. Our first was a sea bass from Long Island subscriber John Chulio of East Hampton, New York, with a weight of 4.02 pounds. Our next entry was New England subscriber Norman Bouchard of Marston Mills, Massachusetts, with his fluke coming in at 9.7 pounds. And the third entry was from a porgy coming in at 2.26 pounds by Long Island subscriber of Medford, New York, Paul Albarano. The leaderboard for this week is Scott Waterman is still in first with 17 points, Anthony Savino at 16 points, and Brian Zembreski. We can't stress enough that those weigh-in forms must be completely filled out. Please make sure before you leave the weigh station to look over the form to make sure it is filled out completely. Just a reminder, for your chance to win the grand prize Steigercraft powered by Yamaha and other great prizes, you need to be a subscriber to the magazine and use the 2024 entry form filled out completely, available at thefisherman.com/contests. We have 2 new entries this week in the Coastal Kayak Clash. Tom Howard of New England landed this 28.25-inch bass just a quarter-inch shy of Bob Wagner's. And New England Todd Triazone caught this scup that hit the tape at 16.5 inches. Bob Wagner and Justin Oser are still stuck in a virtual tie at the top with 9 points apiece. Mike Radzuzinski is in third place, sitting well within striking distance with 6 points. For all the details and how to enter, visit thefisherman.com/contests.
All right, now for our upcoming events. We have a Town of Islip Public Freshwater Clinic. That's on July 25th. Then on July 27th is the Great Gun Mauritius Anglers Take a Vet Fishing Day. Also on the 27th is the Learn to Fly Fish at Connecticut River. That's a great event if you're looking to fly fish. On August 8th is another Town of Islip Public Freshwater Fishing Clinic. Then on August 10th is the 5th Annual Freeport Tuna Club Fluke Shootout Tournament. August 17th is the 8th Annual Summer Fluke Slam. And August 24th through 25th is that tournament we all know and love, the greatest bluefish tournament on earth. For more details on these events and some other ones too, check out thefisherman.com/events. Okay, no around the map for me this week personally, but the correspondents, they have a ton of reports for us. Let's get into their reports. Meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen, his weather and fishing report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So starting out with a fishing report, and it's been kind of a sensational spring and early summer in the back bays of Nassau County, my neck of the woods. I've been doing a lot of back bay fluking because it's just been really good, a lot of action. Yeah, a lot smaller fish now, which is typical for this time of the year with the waters warming up in the back bays. But, I've been picking through and getting a few nice keepers between, 19 and a half and 22 inches. I find that the incoming tide now, a little bit better. Some of the cooler water coming in tends to turn on some of the bigger fish. And, I've been using the bucktails, the gulps, the fire tigers, and the pink shines seem to be doing the trick. And, again, got a nice fish, 22 inches on the incoming tide here in Reynolds Channel last week. So they're there. You just got to work through them, but plenty of action. Good to get out and get some fish there. We've also had some weak fish, spotty ones coming up while fluking in the back bays. Also been reporting some peanut bunker mixed in there as well, 2 to 3 inch peanut bunker with water temps. I was reading about 75 to 80, so we're getting into that midsummer deal. Water temps, ocean sound all throughout, and yet some 70s right now, so no more of that cool water, typical summer pattern. Friday's map looks good, Saturday's map looks good, Sunday looks good. It's a nice July weekend coming up. There'll be a little chop on Friday, but I think both Saturday and Sunday the wind should be fairly light, west going southeast onshore late in the day. An offshore trip, party boat trip, Carter, doing the surf, Peconic Bay, Long Island Sound, out to Montauk. All to go. I think keep it going Saturday and Sunday. This may be a late day shower Saturday, but other than that, looking pretty good. And it's also not too hot with all the heat we've had the last several days. I think you'll like some low to mid 80s all across the island. One of my go-to apps, the Wind Guru, and you can see Friday, little colors on there, northeast early, going southeast late in the day, so the ocean may be a little chopped up. Saturday looks great, light west breeze going onshore late in the day, same thing for Sunday. So, Friday, a little caution, a little choppy, but it's fishable, it's not bad. And both Saturday, Sunday look just terrific, light breeze, calm ocean, everything looks great. So the bay is alive, a lot of great weather coming up this weekend. Get out and enjoy, catch them up. Matt, back to you.
For nearly 90 years, the Viking fleet from Montauk has been putting anglers on the fish. Whether you jump on a half-day trip, fish the deep for an overnight adventure targeting big game, a day trip to Block, or a sunset cruise, their experienced captains and crew have you covered. VikingFleet.com.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. Fishing still going strong out here. Fluke and sea bass are good. Everybody's kind of picking away on them. It's rolling in and being nice and consistent. Striped bass fishing still really good, depending on the tide and what you're trying to catch them on, whether it's jigs, eels, bucktails, trolling wire. Still a lot of nice bass around. The tuna bite's definitely heating up. The offshore bite is heating up. Plenty of guys out there catching plenty of tuna. There's a lot of big eyes and some yellowfins being caught out in the canyons. The inshore giant bite is very good. Fisher Forsberg of the Viking family, Forsberg family, caught his first giant this week. So I got a picture of that. That's pretty much the only picture I'll show. So other than that, everybody, get out this weekend, keep fishing. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoy the summer. Thank you, Matt.
From Sag Harbor, we have Will and Andy.
All right, thanks, Matt. So report this week out of Sag Harbor. Despite, it's the dead of summer, as they say, very hot this time of year. But there are still some porgies around. There's some black sea bass around. There are even reports of weak fish, guys, which has been great. And also some fluke. A lot of the fluke have been on the smaller end, but we're going to go out tomorrow, hopefully get us some doormats. But like I said, kind of fish in a variety in that way. Stripers have also been pretty good, although that's a little further east towards Montauk, during that time of the summer. So again, thanks, and back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Summer doldrums still going on in between Shinnecock and Moriches. Not a whole lot of striped bass around. Some in the inlets, some at the lip of the beach. Nothing wrong with doing some sunset fishing on light tackle with a small bucktail to try to get into those. And in the inlets, my friends and I have been using live spot, and we've gone out front, gotten some bunker, and come through. You do have to contend with decent number of bluefish, a little bit bigger than cocktails, but still fun to bend a rod, even though you got to sacrifice a couple of rigs. So also on the bluefish front, the snappers, while they've kind of been around, they've been too small really to catch. So that should be changing, pretty quick. I know a few people have gotten into them. There's a lot of peanut bunker around as well. Speaking of snappers, this is that time of year where a lot of people are on vacation, and one of their things on their checklist vacation is fishing. And short of jumping on one of the party boats like a Hampton Lady, Shinnecock Star, some of the boats out of Montauk, for a half-day fluke trip. Snapper fishing is a great entry point, especially for kids. It's very easy to do. Any of the local shops like Haskell's, East End Tackle, are more than happy to help you out. The snapper setups aren't really that expensive, and you never know what kind of kid you might turn on to a life of fishing. I know that's what kind of sparked it for me years ago. Also, another for kind of like newbies for fishing and just bringing the kids, Shinnecock Canal when the locks close. It's just perfect. Bring some porgy rigs, plan on leaving them at the bottom and getting stuck, but in between there's a lot of small black sea bass, oyster toadfish, some porgies, tons of small baits swimming around in there. It's just like, it's a really, fun and interesting. I've been taking my son for the better part of like 9 or 10 years, and he still gets excited to go when the locks are closed, of course. So fluke bites improve both in the bay and the ocean. Ocean's a little bit better, has some better keeper to short ratio, and the tuna bite's been pretty good. There's been a lot of yellowfin all the way out, some big eye mixed in with that, and bluefin. Smaller bluefin seem to be hitting some of the nearer shore spots as well. So hit up your Intel network for that. Book a charter, get out there and get it done. All right, good luck this weekend fishing. Let us know how you do. Back to you, Matt.
Aloha. Let's check in with Hawaiian Dan.
Aloha, and thanks, Matt. Aloha, friends. I'm Hawaiian Dan of TalkFishTV.com, reporting on the central North Shore nearshore region of Long Island, where the bite has been on fire since early spring. Now, unfortunately, things change so quickly, and I'm sorry, but it's taken me about 3.5 months to really dial everything in, and I do so more each week. So be sure you don't miss out on any reports and subscribe to TalkFishTV.com and the Fisherman magazine. Inside the harbors and bays, we still have small grass shrimp, rainbait, and the cinderworm won't seem to go away. The sand eels have really thinned out, and we now have the introduction of peanut and adult bunker, which are on edge, and the volume of striped bass seem to have left the inside. However, traditionally, this is a good sign that there are bigger volume or bigger bass outside, and never before have I seen a volume of bass of this size and class. It's really something special to see 35-inch plus size bass getting airborne on the central North Shore, and your screen filling up top to bottom with big bass and keepers in the mix. But to get that information, you'll have to email me at constantfishingcontact@gmail.com. I'm sharing what's helped me this year and the single most important factor for successful fishing, and that's constant contact with fellow anglers and real-time information. So I'm going to do my best to vet and group anglers throughout the island that communicate real-time information through WhatsApp. The first group I'm creating is the CNS anglers, and those accepted will know what, when, where, and how to catch them. Now let's get off those couches. Let's help one another, grab some friends, make some memories, and get out there and fish. Remember to make someone smile today and every day, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Hawaiian Dan or TalkFishTV.com. Until next week, stay safe out there, continue to look out for one another, and keep spreading that aloha! Back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have the Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle Report.
Wow, it's so hot out there this week. I've been drinking a lot of water, probably more than I have in a long time, and it's feeling really good. Stay hydrated. This is crazy weather. The fishing remains really good, although the fishing really is out in the deeper water for the best times. Those sunset morning bites along the shoreline is still fun. Bass is kind of hard to find off the beach right now. Bluefish, for the most part, are on and off. Seeing a lot of snappers starting to form the 2 to 3 inch size range. They're out in the bay. They're making their way in towards the docks, chasing a lot of these spearing. We're seeing bunker pods are very sporadic. Sometimes they're out, then they're in. They're very laid out. I haven't seen them really schooling up yet, but we'll have to see what happens regarding those bait fish. Other bait fish in the area, we're came off a cinderworm hatch, so that's fantastic stuff going on. Hard to catch fish when they're on the cinderworm, but it's a great time to go out there and try your fly fishing. Out in the deep water, we still have bluefish. We still have plenty of bass. The bass are really stacked up, but they tend to, as I mentioned, stay in the deeper water. So what's happening is that the water temps have really heated up quite a bit. So we're seeing different changing patterns. Sometimes it seems like the fishing is a bit late, such as the porgies. The porgy bites really turned on now. but it's later in the season of what we normally would see. So we really have to like look around. Again, I mentioned there's probably going to be porpoise showing up. I haven't seen a little whale this season yet, but I'm sure they're going to show up. The water's warm and it's really, really clean. Long Island Sound is very clean. We've seen all types of species coming and going. The fishing's great. The fluke, you have to weed through a lot of shorts, but there's some beautiful fish in the mix. Sea bass, it's the same thing. You have to weed through a bunch of sea bass, and then you might find yourself like a beautiful keeper. Again, I hope you go out there and have a great time. Thanks for supporting our family business in these really tough times. We try to create a lot of great memories and give great feedback to our customers, and we really appreciate you coming in and spending your money here at our store. I bid you all peace and tight lines.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Al Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Report is nice weekend coming up, and some big fluke have finally showed up. I've heard of fish between 6 and 8 pounds. It's not like you're going to catch a pile of them, but there's a couple out there to catch and a bunch of shorts in between to keep the action going. Bottom fishing got really good now. Put a chum pot down, you're going to catch blowfish, kingfish, porgies, triggerfish just showed up, a couple of those. So bottom fishing is excellent. Occasional weak fish early morning, late afternoon, Ocean Beach typically. And so things are looking good. Like I said, it's a great weekend. Looks weather-wise going to be beautiful. So get out there, catch them up, and we'll talk to you next week, Matt.
Now the latest from All-Pro Market and Tackle.
Hey, Matt, the bite, been hot, been cold. Most of the fish we're getting right now are kind of on the smaller side. There's still a decent sized bite in the channels. We're talking about the Amityville channel itself, the cut. There's something, you go back by Gilgo, Massapequa, all up in these areas. There's still some good sized fish, but with the water temperatures, warming up, I really think that we're gonna have to start focusing when we can get to the outside, the cholera, the reefs, the local wrecks. I think we're gonna start seeing some of the better fluke bite out there with some size. Weak fish, not much, not hearing much. Striped bass, not much. I do hear that the tuna bite is starting to move in a little bit, so that's good for those guys who don't want to run 90 miles, but I don't think they're settled anywhere yet either. We got a super deal on local bay killies. $12 a quart, $8 a pint. Those numbers are unheard of here on Long Island. It's really cool. We got a great deal. You come on down to the All Pro shop. On Fridays, I want to remind you, Fridays is Friday with Frank. Free dinosaur dogs, crazy good. Come on down, live music, table games. I'll see you there. Back to you, Matt.
With our fly, our freshwater, and some salt, Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
3, 2, 1. Hello, Matt. Well, this has been another exciting week for River Bay Outfitters. I actually was doing a lot of fishing. Right now, I'm up on the Housatonic. I want to get in. The river is low. The smallmouthing is off the charts. Use it using simple flies. I've caught on my woy buggers. If I catch 3 or 4 fish on a fly, I cut it off, put another fly on. I wanted to see what works. Everything worked. It didn't matter. But the ones that really did work were these flies right here. And they're called the Goldie. It's very flashy. It comes, I have it in gold and silver. This is the silver, of course. And, last week, I couldn't buy a bite with them. The water was off color. They really works well when the water's clear, like today. And they were crazy. Now, as far as the other fishing, I actually did go out on Thursday night. I went out for a few hours just to walk the inlet at Jones Inlet, throw it a fly, just get a couple hours. I really didn't have high hopes for anything. And I ran into another fly rodder, Chris, who he does the exact same thing. He grabs a few hours. He's got a young family, so he goes down there when he can, and he knows where to go. He ran right to the hole that he likes, and he immediately had fish. Small fluke, except he did have a nice striper, a schoolie striper, nothing massive, but it was great. It was good to see. I ended up with 4 fluke. My biggest was about 15, 16 inches. It was fun. As far as, I'm up here today with a good friend, Mark, and it's crazy fishing. It's crazy. I did get out on my boat for the first time this year with my lovely wife and my daughter, and we had a lot of fluke, all shorts, doesn't matter. We had a great day out there, and then we got clams in the evening. It was a good day. The fact is, this is the summer. There are fishing opportunities. You just got to get out there when you can. Don't sit on the couch in the air conditioning. You are wasting time. So until next week, get out there, stop in, call me, and I'll tell you where to go. And until next week, tie lines.
From Huntington, we have Captain Gaige.
Thanks, Matt. What's up, everybody? Captain Gaige here reporting to you from Huntington Harbor, where I fish 7 days a week for SandCityCharter.com. Check it out. Things are starting to heat up around here, so as the temperature heats up, I gotta say the boating traffic around here slows down unless you're shooting out on your wave runner, going tubing, taking the kids swimming, hanging out on a mooring. But as far as fishing is concerned, the boat traffic out there has definitely slimmed down. From April 15th until this past weekend, till Monday, we had an amazing run on the striped bass. I want to say that was 3 months of incredible action. Every trip we landed bass and some really, really big fish and a lot of fish. So it was a ton of fun. But this Monday morning, 8 to 12, was the first trip that we went out that we did not see a bass. We didn't see a fish. We caught fish on Friday morning, and we were hoping what we saw on Friday, we came armed and prepared. We had croakers, we had live bunker, we had eels, we had chunks, we had everything, peanut bunker, we had everything to throw at them, and we just couldn't find them. So I think it's going to be a little more dependent on catching the right tide and fishing the right areas. Right tide, I think we'll still be on them. I think we just had one off day, but from April 15th till now, we had an amazing run, so we're not complaining. 0 complaints given. Anyway, now we move on to bottom fishing for the kids, and we get a lot of parents out with the kids. We have a couple of charters lined up over the next few days to do porgy fishing, fluke fishing, and black sea bass. We'll let you know how we do. We're going to go try to get dialed in on them and have some fun. In the meantime, we'll take you out night fishing 8 p.m. to midnight. If you want to sit on the chunk and get some bass and blues, we are always available to do that any evening. Give us a shout. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Back to you, Matt.
From the Western Sound, we have Nuno Decosta from Tyalure Tackle. Up and ride.
Hey guys, Nuno here from Tyalure. Another offshore adventure. Windy today, but we got it done on yellowfin and various canyons out here in the Northeast. Anyway, local scene striped bass fishing is still happening. Some bluefish have moved in, looks a little better, a little promising locally. Porgy fishing has improved, and fluke fishing continues to be slow by us, but you head over to the east, you'll do a lot better. But offshore fishing is red hot, and we loaded up on a yellowfin today, guys. Get out there, go get your gear and stuff. Shop is fully stocked and loaded.
The Fisherman magazine has launched their apparel store. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all online now and free shipping with orders over $100. It's a perfect gift for yourself. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can check out all the latest iCast products, release drops, and support our correspondents by visiting their websites and their social media pages. So again, coming to you from the floor of iCast 2024, we saw a lot of great stuff this week, a lot of new products. We can't wait to share all of that with you guys. Remember, twice a week from now until the new year, we're gonna have new product drops for all of you. Newest, latest, and greatest. Keep an eye on that. Subscribe to the e-news, subscribe to the magazine so you know what's coming, what you can expect to fish with in the coming months and the following year. I can't wait to get home, get fishing back on Long Island. There's been some good fishing going on. I'll see you guys next week.